Hi, Jager. Hi, Brinkley. This is Beth, your cousin, and I am your grandpa's sister Marjo's daughter. And my two little girls, well, they're teenagers now, Katie and Brooke, were flower girls in your mom and dad's wedding. And I knit that blanket for you, the Fighting Sioux blanket, and I hope you're enjoying that. We're thinking a lot of you, and we thought some stories might cheer you up. So this is a story called Skippy John Jones Class Action. Now, I'm just going to give you a little hint. He is a little cat. He's a kitten. See his big, big ears? But what he has always wanted to be is a chihuahua. So he's in his room, and when other little cats might be playing pirate, cops and robbers, cowboys and Indians, he's playing chihuahua in Mexico. So these are some of my favorite books that I read when I am working with kids at South Prairie. I'm a kind of a teacher's helper. I'm called a paraprofessional, and I help certain kids with things, and I do a lot of reading groups, and I read a lot to boys and girls. And so I thought this might be something that I could do to help you and Brinkley, Jagger and Brinkley, pass some time. So this again is called Skippy John Jones Class Action. Skippy John Jones was just dying to go to school. He's sitting in a bird bath right here. Very odd. Look at those big ears, by the way. You'll see his face soon. There he is. Oh boy, what's going on there? And not even his mama was going to let him or stop him going to school. But she did, by the scruff of his neck. School is for the dogs, stated Mama Junebug Jones emphatically. They're unruly and drooly, she added dramatically. Just listen to that barking. Those hounds sound ferocious. You can see some dogs up here. He does not look happy. Plus, a bus full of dog breath would smell so atrocious. Good golly, Pop Lolly, it's such a no-brainer. If there is a good dog, it's because of his trainer. His mama gently nudged her nugget into his room. Look at three little sisters. Then she said, "You're Skippy John Jones, a smart Siamese cat. Take a look in the mirror if you don't believe that." "He looks in the mirror every day," said his sisters, Jezebel, Jillyboo, and Jujubee. "But all he sees are chihuahuas." "Arf, arf," barked Jujubee. Well, next page, we're going to show you what he really sees. Look, here's Skippy looking in his mirror, and look at all the chihuahuas. Now, those are kind of those little dogs, and you know a lot about dogs. I know that you have Tommy, and you have, like, your grandma and grandpa have dogs. I don't know if your grandma and grandpa Lindsay have dogs or not, but we have dogs. We have 3. You'll probably hear him barking every now and then. But look at he sees chihuahuas when he looks in the mirror. He so wants to be a chihuahua. "Holy holio," squeaked the little kitty boy. "How many chihuahuas am I?" he wondered out loud. Then he took a deep breath using his very best Spanish accent. He answered, "As many as your head can handle, hombre." Oh, boy, he's concentrating there. "And quicker than you can say the cat in the hat never did that." The kitty boy tossed his mask and cape and bright yellow banana into his mohia. Then he buttoned up his red plaid shirt. He began to sing in a mooey soft voice. "Oh, my name is Scapito Frisquito, clap, clap." I probably would clap if I could, but I can't because I'm holding the book. "I'm off to the school for perritos, 'cause I've got a good hunch that I'm gonna have lunch with a grand old bunch of puchitos, clap, clap." Where's Mama Cat? What's she doing? Just across the hall, Mama Junebug Jones and the girls were doing a little homework of their own. Listen here, Messy Missy, said Mama. How are you supposed to clean your kitty condo without your ladder? Skippy John has it, said the sisters. What for? Asked Mama. So he can see the Chihuahua in the mirror. There's a kitty condo. I have a secret. We just got 3 kittens. One of them is named Skippy John. I named that one. Told you I love these books. I'm going to get better at showing these pictures on this camera. The Chihuahua, however, was already in his closet, boarding bus for school. In his closet, that's where he plays. That's where he pretends that he's a Chihuahua. Here's a big bus. But the kitty boy wasn't the only Chihuahua on board. His old amigos, Los Chimichangos, were going to school too. Thank dog you made it, dude, exclaimed Don Diego, the biggest of the small ones. Si, Scapito, panted Paquito Tito, the smallest of the small ones. We need your help, con el bolito. Oh, look at that teeny little puppy. Without a doubtito, declared El Scapito. That's Skippy. That's my dog, Winnie. But why do you need my help with the bully? Because he is pero mezquino, declared Don Diego, who barina around the escuelo a tazolito. I have no idea what that means. He spins around the school in a tiny teacup, exclaimed the kitty boy in shock. Boy, a little Chihuahua in a teacup? I'd be shocked too. See, dude, added Don Diego. He growls and howls and wears a siete de lana tambion. Not the wool sweater, said Scapito. Uh-huh, agreed Paquito Tito, trembling. He is a woolly bully. There wasn't a dog worth his biscuits who didn't fear the woolly bully. So it wasn't a surprise when a potent puff of panic poofed out the gatito's tail. Oh boy. I don't think Chihuahuas poof out their tails when they get scared, but cats do. Uh-oh. Good thing it's pretend. All right, well, here's what's going on the picture while I read. And all that puffiness inspired the Pachitos to sing. Oh, puffy, puffu, puffido. We know you can do it, Scapito. Let's unravel his sweater and knit something better. We'll show that old woolly bolito. But there was no turning back now. The doggies had arrived at school. There's Skippy. Someday I'm going to have to show you Skippy on the camera when I read another book. Maybe another Skippy John Jones book. A moment later, the principal, a poodle with very high standards, appeared with a bucket of balls and a whistle. First she blew. Here's a look at the picture. Look at all the dogs. And then she threw. Go fetch, barked Mrs. Bagelot. Then every dog, big and small, chased a ball down the hall and into their classrooms, except for Scapito. He got carried away by the river of rovers and... oh boy, I read this book in a while. Landed in art class, where he drew his best ever double doggy doodle. I've never seen a pup do that before, said Mrs. Houndler, the art teacher. Oh my gosh. Look at them. Oh my. Look at that art on the wall. I don't know if I'd hang that on in my house, but that's okay. Here's the next picture. Then he trotted over to the music room and bayed like a beagle for the canine chorus. Bow wow, woofed Mr. Muzzle Stuff. What a pair of ears. They look like little kitty boy ears, don't they? After music came math. where Skippy stunned Mrs. McDrueller with his counting skills. 2, 3, 5, 7, 11. I don't think that sounds right. Well, you probably know. At the bell, the amigos followed their noses into the library. Not even a bowlful of frioles smelled as delicious as the scent of books waiting to be read. I kind of agree with that. I'm a book girl. I lick libros, declared El Scapito Fresquito, the great reader Ito. I like books too, whispered Lenore Lapsitter, the librarian, from behind the bookcase. The kitty boy was the last to leave the library, so he had to race right over to French class with Monsieur Fusé. Can you say cheese? Asked the teacher. Oui, oui, said Z Poodles. Fromage. Si, si, said Scapito. Queso. I'm a fan of queso myself. Queso cabiza, shouted the chimichangos, sorry, from the rear of the room. Remember, the chimichangos are the group, the gang of chihuahuas. I'm not a cheesehead, chimichango, chuckled the gatito. I'm a chihuahua. The poodles were tickled pink to have Los Pochitos in the class with them. And Los Pochitos wanted to share what they had learned with their amigo. Zuzi Poopies Zang. Como si, como sa, comosito. Clap, clap. We have zooming to tell you, Scapito, we Z Poodles say we, Z really mean si. So we don't look for a red hydradito. A red hydrant? What do dogs do with red fire hydrants? If you're not sure, you might want to ask Mom and Dad. Clap, clap. That was the end of that song. I bet you're glad, because then it means I'm not really singing anymore. After French, Los Muchachos took a pass on obedience class, deciding instead to nap inside the warm case with the golden trofeos. Oh, look at the trophies. I wonder what kind of trophies. I'll tell you, it says best in show, like when dogs win trophies for being really nice looking. Oh yeah, that's a bunch of dog ones. I'm not good at following rules, confessed the kitty boy. What dog is, dude, quipped Don Diego, but just then the gatito heard a gut-gurgling growl that shook the entire escuelo. Escuelo means school. Perhaps the whole planeta. Planeta, I think they mean planet. Holy heartburn, hollered Scapito. Was that my tummy? No, that is the bellow of the woolly bolito, said Paquito Tito with a shiver ito. The gruesome grumble grew louder and louder, and with it came the rattle and plink of the terrible Tazalita. It was a spinning widely right under his nose, circling like a polka-dotted shark. Polka-dotted shark? Where does that come from? Andale, declared Don Diego. Get your duds, dude. But Scapito was too frozen with fear to unpack his moquilla. So his amigos did it for him, helped to change their Chico into El Scapito Fresquito, complete with a mask, cape, and a banana? Okay. Why the Platino, dude? Asked Pintolito. It's my snackito, replied the gatito. Will you share it with me and Tito? Yes, indeedo, agreed Scapito. I just love Skippy John. He's got such an imagination. He's just in his closet, and he's having all of this fun. Then, woof, chucka-lucka-lucka, woof, and chucka-lucka-lucka. Every doggy leaped out of the case and latched onto the turbocharged Taza. This caused the cup to spin wildly out of control, some of the Chicos just hanging on by a tail. Oh yeah, I forgot, it rides in a little teacup. Look at how Skippy, his mask is slipping. Looks like his mask needs to fit a little better. Well, there's the little bully in the teacup right there. Oh my goodness. All right. Estoy, marido, cried Scapito. You are not dizzy, dude, you're green, yipped the doggies. The whirling dervish of a dog-filled teacup cut a mean path of destruction past the principal's office. and spun straight on into the lunch bunch like a bowling ball. "Strikeito!" shouted the Puchitos. Oh boy. Skippy John looks... That's Maisie. Before we were so rudely interrupted by my dogs, I had to stop because they were barking so loud. So let's try this, continue where we are, and see if I can put these two tapes together. And strike it did, smash, crackle, and pop. The twirling Tazalita crashed right into a table and broke apart, exposing the ferociously fuzzy for what he really was, a teeny tiny, itsy bitsy, wool-wearing teacup chihuahua. "Dude," declared Skipito, "you're no bigger than a bugito." Oh my gosh, look at how tiny he is. That's him. That's the little tiny chihuahua in here. They were afraid of him. Oh my gosh. But the bugito's only reply was a gut-gurgling growl greater than a hound's had ever heard before. "Is that your tummy?" asked Skipito. "Sí," replied the bolito. "Tengo mucho hambre." "I'm hungry too," agreed the gattado. "But you can have my platano." I wonder if some of these seem like they're made-up words. I hope so. And I apologize for my mispronunciation. This act of kindness made the chimichangos pull out their jump rope right in the middle of a mess. Peanut butter and belly buttons, chunky cherry pits. The woolly bully's taza has broken into bits. Wiggle, waggle, wiggle, waggle, jelly on the toast. He's not a woolly bully. He's just a hungrier than most. Just then, Mrs. Begalot stomped into the lunchroom. "I smell a cat," she bellowed. "That cat better scat." Then out came the whistle. First she blew and then she threw a bright yellow ball down the hall, which every dog, big and small, began to chase, except for Skipito. He wasn't chasing the ball. He was running for his life. First Skippy tripped and then Skippy slipped on the banana peel and slid straight out of his closet. Where did he end up, I wonder? And back into the arms of his Mama Junebug Jones. "What in the woolly white willies have you been up to, Mr. Whistle Whiskers?" asked Mama. "He broke my teacup," whined Jilly Boo. "And he ate my banana," complained Jezebel. "That's 'cause he went to school with the Chihuahuas," explained Jujubee. They know everything that Skippy does in his closet when he's playing. Later that night, after every fuzzy fell asleep, the kitty boy was good for one last bounce. "Oh, I'm Skippy John Jones, and I couldn't say it better. A dog is not a bully just because he wears a sweater." Then he bounced over to his mama and gave her a beso, a kiss. She felt straight through the layers of her quilt. "Good night, little dipper," said the very sleepy mama. "Good night, mama," said the very sleepy kitten. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. Like I said, I'll get better at being able to show you the pictures of the books that I'm reading, and I would love to know what kinds of things you'd like me to read. Now, there are some really good books that I can pick up at the library. There's treehouse books where a boy and a girl have adventures, and it's all kind of magic. And you know what? Sometimes these books are good to go to sleep to. And I'll let you know when there's a book that would be good to kind of listen to and go to sleep. And I'll read nice and quiet and things like that. But I hope you enjoyed it. And if you don't even listen to it, that's okay too, all right? They just come from the heart to you, Jagger and Brinkley. We love you. Bye-bye.